Welcome to this video from Learn Electrics. A few comments recently have asked about the contents page, page 3, and how to use it. In fact, there are many contents pages in the regulations book, and this video will show you how they are all linked to each other. By using the contents pages correctly, especially in an exam, you will quickly home in on the correct area of the book and locate the pages where you will find the answer to the question. Take full advantage of the information that is available. We are using the Brown Amendment 2 book for this video. Amendment 3 of the wiring regulations was released in 2024, and if you downloaded, printed and attached the Amendment 3 supplement into your Brown book, then this effectively makes your Brown book Amendment 3 compliant. Looking at page 3 of the Brown book, the main contents page, we can see that each area of the book is listed with just a brief outline of what is included in that part. We are going to look at how to get even more information out of the book. Become familiar with the layout of this page. We will use it a lot. And, of course, there are other search methods that we will look at in other videos. This video will look just at how to use the contents help from parts 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 to answer exam questions. Shown in this table are the page numbers of additional contents pages, additional search information that will help you to navigate the book much more easily. Knowing that these contents pages exist will be very useful. How do all these contents pages work together? Beginning with the main contents page on page 3, each part also has its own contents page with an expansion of the search information available. In addition, parts 4 and 5 have even more contents pages, one for each chapter. The fact that there are so many contents pages for parts 4 and 5 should give you a clue that in the 18th edition exam you can expect close to 50% of the exam questions to be on parts 4 and 5, a big chunk of the exam questions. Learning to use all the contents pages is going to improve your exam score. Pause the video and check out the page numbers shown above. Make yourself familiar with them. Let's do a couple of examples. Follow along. This is a typical exam question. The question asks, to protect against burns, a metallic part that is intended to be touched but not handheld should not exceed a temperature of what? And 4 possible answers are offered. Select the correct answer. Using the contents pages will help you to home in on the correct page very quickly. No need to randomly flick through the book in the hope that the book will fall open at the correct page. Look for the keywords in the questions. What is the question actually asking you? In this question, how do we protect against burns? So burns is a key word. Now go to page 3, the main contents page. Preventing burns is a safety thing, and part 4 is about protection for safety. Looking under part 4, we find chapter 42, protection against thermal effects, and thermal effects will include burns. Scanning horizontally along the line to the right hand side, we are directed to page 84. Here on page 84 we have the chapter 42 contents page with lots more detail. Look down the page and find section 423, protection against burns. Now we can go to section 423 on page 91 to find the answer. On page 91 we find a table, table 42.1, about protection from burns. Follow the question. Find touched but not handheld in the left column. Choose metallic in the centre column, and the answer is in the rightmost column, 70 degrees Celsius. Our answer is D, 70 degrees Celsius. And how easy is that? Another example and another typical exam question. Remember these ones. You are almost guaranteed that this will be an exam question. It will be one of the first questions in an exam. The question asks, within the scope of the wiring regulations, to which of the following electrical installations do the regulations apply? First, find the key word. And the key word in this question is scope. Now we can go to page 3. On page 3, we can find scope in part 1, and this directs us to part 1 contents page on page 19. Page 19 breaks this down further, and we shall be looking at the general rules or section 110.1. Turning to page 20, we can see regulation 110.1.1, and if we scan down the list, the only installation in the possible answers that is listed is item 7 or V11, which shows that highway equipment and street furniture is included in the scope of the regulations. Answer D is therefore the only answer choice that is included in the list in regulation 110.1.1. Time for you to put this into practice now. There are 12 questions for you to try. Make an attempt to find the correct answer each time. The more that you practice, the better that you will become. And the correct answer and the method that I followed are shown for each question. Pause the video, read the question, find the key words, and start from page 3, the main contents page, each time. Question 1. Which of the following electrical installations is excluded from the scope of the regulations? 4 possible answers, only one is correct. Look for the key words. The key words here are excluded and scope. Pause the video and attempt an answer. Here is the method that I followed. Finding scope on page 3, we are directed to page 19. Page 19 indicates that regulation 110.2 covers exclusions from the scope of the regulations. Turning to page 21, find regulation 110.2.6 or V1. This states that equipment of aircraft is excluded from the scope of the regulations. Our answer is C. Question 2 next. When considering the general characteristics of an installation, an assessment shall be made of the compatibility of characteristics, including what? Again, look for the keywords in the question. The keywords from the question here are general characteristics and compatibility of characteristics. With practice, it will become easier to pick out the keywords. Pause the video and attempt an answer. Here is one method. Page 3, main contents. Find part 3, assessment of general characteristics. And below that, chapter 33, compatibility, which directs you to page 57. On page 57, for chapter 33, we can see that regulation 331.1 is about compatibility. All 3 possible answers are in the list for regulation 331.1. Our answer then is D, all of the above. Now to question 3. To protect against electric shock, the protective measure of placing out of reach requires that a bare live part, other than an overhead line, shall not be within arm's reach or within what distance of exposed or extraneous conductive parts. Find the key words. The key words here are protect against electric shock and placing out of reach. Pause the video and attempt an answer. And the route that was followed, page 3, where we find a reference to chapter 41, protection against electric shock. This tells us to go to page 59, where we can see that section 417 is about obstacles and placing out of reach. Turning to page 81, where we find section 417, and Regulation 417.3.1, we will find our answer. Choose answer B, 2.5 meters. And now question 4. The question asks, when selecting an earth electrode, which of the following is not considered suitable? Again, start by finding the keywords. Here they are: selecting and earth electrode. Now pause the video and attempt an answer. Start at page 3 again. Against part 5 is chapter 54 about earthing arrangements and protective conductors, and prompting us to go to page 196. On page 196 we have chapter 54 contents page, showing that section 542.2 is about earth electrodes. Turning to page 198 we find regulation 542.2.2. This is a not question, and 542.2.2.5 states except pre-stressed concrete. This is the not answer. We should choose answer C. Question 5 is next. If required during testing, verification of voltage drop shall be evaluated by how? Find the key words and go to page 3. These would be testing and verification of a voltage drop. Pause the video and find the answer. Halfway down page 3 is part 6, testing. Then, on page 230, we find a reference to section 643, testing, and regulation 643.11 about verification of voltage drop. Turning to regulation 643.11 on page 238, we find our answer. Voltage drop shall be evaluated by measurement or calculation. So our answer is D. Moving on to question 6 now. It asks, the functional requirements of a prosumer's low voltage electrical installation state that within the PEI concept, a PEI is a set of electrical equipment that has which of the following functions? Choose your keywords. These will be functional requirements, prosumer's low voltage electrical installation, and PEI concept. Pause the video, turn to page 3 and follow the method. In the bottom half of page 3 we have part 8, functional requirements, and a reference to chapter 82, prosumer's low voltage electrical installation. This directs us to page 350, where section 823 indicates information about the PEI concept. Moving to section 823 on page 353, we can see PEI concept and a list. Looking at the possible answers, all 3 answers appear in that list. Our answer must be all of the above and answer D. Now question 7. The question asks, upon completion of the periodic inspection and testing of an existing electrical installation, which document should be produced? Find the keywords. The keywords here are periodic inspection and testing. Pause the video and choose an answer. On page 3, under part 6, we have a reference to chapter 65, periodic inspection and testing. This points us towards page 239, where we find section 653, reporting for periodic inspection and testing, and regulation 653.1 gives us the answer that we seek, answer D. On to question 8. Within the object and effects of the regulations, BS 7671 sets out technical requirements to enable electrical installations to conform with the fundamental principles of Chapter 13 as follows. Find the keywords, find your answer, find the list that matches the book. The keywords here are object and effects. Pause the video and attempt an answer. And the route to follow is, on page 3, find part 1, object and effects. This tells us to look at page 22. On page 22, we have chapter 12, object and effects, and regulation 120.3, where we find the answer. The list in regulation 120.3 specifies parts 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Choose answer A. Now question number 9. Within a prosumer's low voltage electrical installation, the PEI concept states that a battery can be considered as, again find the key words. The key words are prosumer's low voltage electrical installation and PEI concept. Now pause the video and find the answer. On page 3, we have a reference to chapter 82, prosumer's low voltage electrical installation, and we can see that we should go to page 350. On page 350, we have an indication for section 823, the PEI concept. Turning to page 353, we find section 823, and if we look at the note in this section, we will find our answer, and choose answer B. Moving on to question 10. To improve protection against voltage disturbances, band 2 and band 1 cables which share the same cable management system or the same route shall be installed according to which regulations? The key words from the question are protection and voltage disturbances. Pause the video, find the answer. Page 3 again, find part 4 and chapter 44, protection against voltage disturbances. This shows that we should go to page 101. On page 101, the chapter 44 contents page, we have a section 444, measures against electromagnetic disturbances. Go to page 117 and find regulation 444.6.1 about segregation of circuits. The answer is shown, regulations 528.1 and 528.2. Choose answer C. And now, question 11. When assessing the need for safety services, which of the following electrical sources is not recognised by the regulations as being suitable? This is a not question. Find the key words. And I have the key words as assessing and safety services. Pause the video and find the answer. On page 3, we can find part 3, assessment of general characteristics, and below that a reference to chapter 35, safety services. From part 3 contents page, we can go to page 58 and regulation 351.1, where we find that the wording of answer C does not match the wording of regulation 351.1.4. C is the not answer. Our answer is C. Question 12 next, the last question. When selecting a protective conductor, the minimum cross-sectional area can be found by using the formula shown on the right. For what does the letter T represent? Keywords first, which are selecting, protective conductor, cross-sectional area. Now pause the video and choose an answer. Starting on page 3, we have selection and erection of equipment, part 5, followed by chapter 54, earthing arrangements and protective conductors. So go to page 196. On page 196 is the chapter 54 contents page, and we can see that section 543 is about protective conductors and that 543.1 is about cross-sectional areas. Turn to page 199 and find regulation 543.1.3 and look at the note below the formula where you will find what the letter T represents. The answer to choose is answer A. I hope you enjoyed working through those questions and that a little more knowledge is in your mental toolbox. To improve your chances of exam success, become familiar with the various contents pages. Look for the key words in any exam questions and look for these on page 3, the main contents page, as your starting point. Practice using the contents pages. The more familiar that you become with them, the quicker you will find the page or pages where the answer will be found. The contents pages are a tool to help you. Use them. Thank you for watching. It really is appreciated, and I hope that you found this video both useful and informative. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. And don't forget, you can type in Learn Electrics into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer. We are always adding new videos to our channel, so don't miss the next one. And once again, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.